Thank you, Lynn, for that nice introduction. I'm going to show you my book first because I love the cover.
That's
It's
so
called
pretty.
Grateful for the Color Blue, Surviving the Loss of an Adult Child. My son was 35 when he was diagnosed with an aggressive cancer. And as I mentioned, he lived 3,000 miles away. He was in LA, I was in Boston. And I looked everywhere for a book written by others who had experienced this, and I couldn't find anything. This was 16 years ago. I couldn't find anything. So I decided I needed to be the one to write it because I felt so alone, and I knew there were others out there who were probably feeling the same way, and I wanted to be able to help them. It's been out there now about a month. I've gotten incredible responses from people that have really filled my heart. When I pushed that publish button, I was really nervous because I felt like I was exposing myself, my very personal, deep self.
You were.
I was, for sure. And I didn't know what sort of reactions I'd be getting. But immediately I started getting phone calls from people I hadn't seen in 30 years, people I'd worked with 30 years before. One woman is a grief therapist, and she was so moved and said she's going to use my book in her work, and she's going to recommend it to other folks who have experienced loss. Awesome. Other people have said it reads like a novel. I couldn't put it down.
It does. I can vouch for that.
Thanks. Well, and then another comment I get a lot is, I cried and I laughed out loud. Yeah, because humor is a big part of my life, and it was a big part of my son's life as well. So I made sure that was in there. But there was a surprise also that readers made me realize this isn't just about losing an adult child, but it's more about managing any loss. But it can, if you take the essence of surviving and coming out the other end as a whole person, you can apply it to job loss, to divorce, and even the incredible losses we're all experiencing right now in the COVID pandemic. Almost 40 years ago, I've been doing stress management for 40 years.
You got me meditating.
Oh, great. Oh, good. Good. I learned stress management from Dr. Herb Benson, who was the head of the Mind Body Medical Institute at Harvard in Boston. He was a cardiologist, and so I was trained by Herb, and then I was actually hired by Herb to go into corporations and teach stress management. And so I did that for a while, and then I've also worked at UCSD, the University of University of California at San Diego. I worked for the Center for Mindfulness there, and helped them develop their corporate program. So I've been doing that for a long time.
And this book is so beautifully done. It does read like a novel. It's meticulously edited. It just flows. I couldn't put it down. And I know that's a horrible thing to say when you're talking about somebody's life trauma, but you have a way of writing that is very polished. And I just wonder how, this is your first book. Have you been at it for a while, or are you just one of those gifted people?
Oh, thank you, Lynn. It took me 7 years to write this book. A lot of tears in my keyboard, but it was also very cathartic for me.
I was wondering about that, if it was therapeutic for you.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. And the feedback I'm getting now is just so satisfying, and it makes me realize that this book really is helping people in ways beyond what I even imagined it would.
Well, Ellyn, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. I so appreciate that you wrote the book, and I think that so many people are going to benefit from it, and I hope that you gain great satisfaction from having poured your heart out onto the page for us. Why don't you hold it up again so that
Oh,
everybody can see it? Everyone, this book is available on Amazon in both paperback and ebook form. And I would really recommend, Ellyn, that you find a nice narrator and have it made into an audiobook as well, because
thank
I
you.
just think it would be so helpful to people.
Great. I'm just going to show you a picture of my son. There he
Oh,
is.
he's so beautiful. Oh my God.
One
What
of
a smile.
one of the women who read it called me and said, she said, I don't know if it's appropriate to say this or not, but your son was a hunk.
Yeah, I know. He was. Well, he was an actor.
He was an
So
actor.
he,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, he was.
Well, thank you so much, Ellyn, for visiting with us. This has been just wonderful. It's very enlightening, and I hope that people find you and benefit from the many tools and from the heartfelt journey that you took in Grateful for a Color Blue.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Lynn. And anyone can find me on my website, ellynwolfe.com, ELLYNWOLFE.com. And Lynn, thank you. You made this interview very comfortable for me. I have to say I was a little nervous, but thank you so much. And
My
and
pleasure,
thank you
Ellyn.
for your contributions to my book as well.
Oh, it was my pleasure. My tears. All
Thanks,
right.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.